Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Thursday, August 13th, 2020. In both the Lynn life and the Jamie body mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already living by the many search for truth rules already given to the search for truth community by wiser minds above all of us. And those rules really almost begin and end with the rule to accept our responsibility, each of us for ourselves, to discern what's actually going on, to do the time-consuming, painstaking work that it takes to dig through the layers of reality to get to what's actually going on. And that's an immutable standard. We don't move off that standard. We're not supposed to move off that standard. That's part of the instruction, is hold fast to that standard. Don't give up. If you give up, then you're stopping before you're starting, which is another rule. Don't stop before you start. So we have here visiting souls that are familiar to us, who we have a lot of respect for. And we are watching those souls. It was unclear who's speaking.
Yeah, I hear you.
Somebody just, the microphone changed. We're watching those souls fall to the poisons that we have watched many souls fall to. Might be somebody from Saul's team. I feel the kind of bouncy spaceship feel.
I feel that feeling
and
also.
this is interesting. We've had multiple clients with UFO inquiries lately.
That's right.
And we're just noting that, and we think that that's interesting. So if any of you viewers have also had UFO experiences recently and you want to share them with us, we would invite you to put them in the comment section. We would like to know, because, and if you got those of you guys who are going to put nasty comments that belittle people who have the wherewithal to have their UFO experiences, it just makes you look ridiculous, and we're going to delete your comments. Okay,
Yes,
just so you know. Because we're not going to let you harass the people who are reporting things that are going on.
No.
That's why, just to explain. Don't harass people. Try to not be gross. Try to not be revolting. If each of us at least begins with that in our own hearts, to try to not be revolting, and to try to not be bullies, and to remember that dense lives do not have legal standing under divine law, and that wiser minds above do not have to help any of us. You don't have legal standing either. This applies to you too. And they don't have to help any of us. They don't have to help you either. And be less gross. And be somebody that a divine presence might want to help, right? It would behoove us, all of us, to be presences that divine presences would want to help. And so part of the assignment to a dense life is to be a place where a higher vibration soul can actually survive, and to keep the astral thugs away. And this is a little bit tricky in an era when many astral thugs see fit to plaster on a fake beard and a toga and call themselves God, and
That's true.
and then give bad advice. So you have to have your wits about you. For whom is the message? Why do you ask? It's again this same kind of like observer from the spaceship, though I feel the bouncy spaceship, and they're talking about these souls who are here, who are familiar to us and respected souls that we have known for many, many, many years. And through, somebody's asking how, through client sessions, these souls show up to help clients, and they have for a really long time, like a decade and more.
Yep.
Some of them 2 decades and more, some of them 3 decades, a really long time.
Yeah, that's true.
So we really want to help these beloved souls, because they seem to still not be reporting up a lot of the dysfunctions of these dimensions that are close to planet Earth.
That's true.
And we believe it's essential. We believe that all the experimentation that's been run through these host lives for the past 10 years, 20 years maybe, would show that it's essential to report up, all the way up, as high up through the chain of divine command as we're able to get the messages. what's actually happening in the depths. So do you guys know that on planet Earth there is no upward flow? Hands up if you would say you know that. And I do see some hands.
I see some hands
let's
up.
align with those hands, because if presences are not going to acknowledge that there's no upward flow, that's stopping before we're starting.
That feels simple.
Do you know that on planet Earth, astral tumbling is so severe, it might be impossible to discern which way is up? And immediately I hear like big arguing.
Big arguing, loud arguing.
Arguing. So we're pointing, somebody is pointing to, it's a Charts and Graphs soul, pointing to,
that person.
They've went through a selection process and picked all the hotshot souls who are volunteering to jump in and then find which way is up. And they didn't just take a sample of them, they took everybody who volunteered, dropped them in one by one, let the souls do whatever it is they want to do to pick which way is up, and then they're supposed to point to which way they believe is up. And it's a 100% fail rate. Every single soul who volunteered did not point up.
That is true.
They pointed in some other direction. Astral tumbling is so severe it might be impossible to discern which way is up. There's a 100% fail rate, a 100% fail rate of all available volunteers. There's a 100% fail rate of all available volunteers. There is a 100% fail rate of all available volunteers. Is anybody willing to report that up? All those volunteers, if they're not reporting it up after they were retrieved, and so then what happened is it's like dropping a child into the pool to see if they can swim, and then you fish the child out.
Exactly.
So these hotshot souls, I mean the hotshots, hot dogging souls jump in, they can't tell which way is up, and then they're fished out with the big nets. We don't feel that anybody was left in.
No, I don't feel anyone behind.
Yeah, no one left behind, and that's good. We think that's good.
Yeah.
But now we need to report this up. Like all of those souls need to report that they were unable to find up.
That's right.
Because the experimentation now strongly suggests, and some might say proves, that the astral tumbling is so severe it's impossible to discern which way is up. Who's willing to report that up? And if you guys aren't willing to report that up,
right?
Who taught us our actions and inactions show who and what we really are? Who taught us that? And now those presences, are you guys willing to report up that the data strongly suggests, and some might say proves, the astral tumbling is so severe? Now they're clicking off.
Yeah, that's the feeling.
So this brings us to another one. We're going to skip several lines right now.
That feels good.
And we need to stay calm because we're getting upset.
Thank you.
And we're not trying to be disrespectful to anybody present. No disrespect intended to anyone present. But do you guys know that dead lowlives calling themselves God give advice they know is bad to the living? Do you guys know that? They know it's bad advice, and they give it anyway. Do you guys know that?
Do you know that?
It gets a different response.
Yeah.
It's different.
Different.
It might be calling for the hit squad.
Right.
It's like, shut them up. That's often what it is.
Right. Someone is talking about the Greeks and the Romans.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying something like, don't make us crash your empire also if you keep talking about how bad we are.
We don't have an empire.
No.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that? Crash an empire? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
We're on a tiny little farm.
Yeah, this is not
We're in the
an
boondocks.
empire.
We were told to put down our suburban or urban lives and buy a tiny farm and move to the country and learn how to farm organically, learn permaculture, learn to tend the land.
That's true.
That's what we've done. And we think that that was good advice.
Yeah, I do.
It was been very difficult and painful
Yup.
and sad. But we think that those were the highest vibration voices that we have had the pleasure of associating with or being able to connect with, and it was right to follow them. Please may we have our karma instantly.